I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. Hello and welcome to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, the podcast where Matt and Todd watch a movie from the Netflix top 10 list and then we talk about it and think about it, share our feelings about it, and we even rate it. I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy, and we did watch a movie. This movie was called Bigfoot Family, and it's the follow-up to a movie called Son of Bigfoot. And I haven't seen Son of Bigfoot. I don't know if you have or not, Todd, but
I have not,
yeah.
but I did. After the first 10 minutes of this movie, really even the first 2 minutes of this movie, I was like, is this a sequel? Because the first 30 seconds of the movie is them describing a scenario that has happened, and I was like, well, why am I not watching that movie?
Right.
So that's when I searched to see. I was like, is this a sequel?
It is a sequel.
It is.
So, this is I think it's a foreign film. It's all in English.
Yes.
It's animated.
I think it's French.
Okay. It's animated, and thereby there's no one famous who I've heard of in it.
Not at all.
So the movie's premise is that, I'll give you the little backstory from what happened in Son of Bigfoot, which was that the father in a family was doing genetic research of some kind and inadvertently transformed himself into Bigfoot and went to the woods for 10 years. And then was reunited in that movie with his family. So then this movie picks up where he's also become famous in some way for being Bigfoot, I guess.
Sure.
We're not sure exactly how that happened, but
gotta collect some royalties.
It did happen. So the family structure is the dad, who's Bigfoot, and he can talk to animals. His son is also, and I'm not clear on why this happened, but
yes, I was hoping that you would bring this up because it makes no sense.
His son also has Bigfoot-like powers, even though I think he was born before. Well, maybe he wasn't born before.
I mean, he's 15 in this movie, going on 16.
And the movie's called Son of Bigfoot, the previous movie. So I'm guessing he was born before his dad transformed into Bigfoot, but
I mean, maybe. I still think it's just something they never thought of at all.
Yes. Wow. So both the dad and the son can talk to animals, and in fact they have a bunch of animals that live with them, notably a grizzly bear and a raccoon who play a big part in this movie.
Yeah. Do cook and do family chores, yet the mom, who's a normal human, can't talk to any of them. So it's just these wild animals in her house.
Right.
I felt for the mom in this movie.
Yeah. So that's the setup for you, and then what happens is Bigfoot decides that he's going to do a little bit of charity work. He's going to support this group of people in Alaska who are trying to stop oil drilling happening there in a nice natural area. So he goes up to Alaska without his family and starts a big protest movement there, and then he disappears. And the mom and the son and the grizzly bear and the raccoon all jump in a van and drive their way to Alaska to find Bigfoot, their dad / husband / friend. And then they all get captured by all the humans, or the humanoids, I guess, get captured by the oil company, and the animals and everyone works together to save the humans, and then they're trying to stop environmental disaster from happening and make sure everyone knows about the evil of the uh, oil company. And that's the movie.
You you sound so excited about it after you just talked about it.
This, yeah, no. This is a kids movie, or I guess it's a family movie, um, targeting younger kids,
Yeah, not my family.
not your family. So Todd, what did you think of this Bigfoot
Well,
Family?
as always, I guess important to note that we are not the intended audience for this film. Um, but I do think kids' movies can be good and fun and enjoyable to watch. This is not one of them. It, but I wasn't the intended audience. I don't know. I really felt like they just really skimped on actual voice acting talent for this movie, and that was one of my biggest things. Is that so many scenes fell just so flat because the people, I don't know, were just not good or phoned it in or however you want to describe that. Um, the story's like okay, um, gets kind of paint by numbers as you go along. Um, I don't know, like I just there's nothing excitable to me about this movie, and that kind of stinks. Like when you're watching a kids movie, even though it's not for you, you kind of want it to bring out your inner kid, I guess, or at least that's how I view it. And I didn't feel it. Just really didn't feel it. It's pretty. I mean, I guess if you got a family night, you want to go for it. Sure. I don't think it's worth your time. That's kind of where I'm coming from. I think that'll be it because I'll just continue to rant.
Fair enough. Well, this might be one of our shorter episodes because when it's bad, it's
Right.
sometimes hard to come up with adequate words. But
And it's not one of those. It's either weird bad or so bad that it's like frustrating or enjoyable to talk about. It's just not like it's just there and not good.
yeah, well, I will agree with you that this is not a good movie. Um, it's the animations at times are kind of weird. Like anytime
Yeah.
there's liquid involved, I found it to be really distractingly poorly animated. And there's oil in this movie, and there's water in this movie, and
Yeah.
a fair amounts, and it just looks weird every time. Some of the uh, actual people in the movie are animated in really just bizarrely misshapen ways. There's a
Yeah.
guy who plays the principal who looks like his head is a giant boulder with eyes like floating in front of it. It's really strange
Your
animation
principal
choices.
didn't look like that?
What's that?
Is it your principal didn't look like that?
No, my principals all looked like humans at least. Um, so yeah, I I I don't know who would like watching this movie. I guess like if you're a pretty little kid, like some of the funny stuff that the animals do might catch your fancy. There's a little
Sure.
bit of humor there, kind of your slapstick physical humor
Yeah.
gets played into a little bit. So maybe there's something there, but I didn't think the story was very good at all.
No,
Um,
it's really not.
it 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 feels like more than anything else, it feels like there's just too much stuff thrown in this movie. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of different. There's too many characters, and the plot is all over the place. and you've got weird stuff going on. Like some character, like at the beginning, there's this scene with a wolf and a rabbit, and then later the wolf comes and befriends the boy a little bit, but then he just sort of fades away, and you don't really see him anymore. So it's stuff like that that's just like, meh, what's going on here? What are you guys trying to do?
Yeah. Trying to pull a fast one.
Trying to
Maybe this was a hit with French people.
maybe
Maybe we just don't understand their humor.
it's possible. It's possible that the humor level and the plot was not tuned to the American sensibilities.
True.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there and just say no one should watch this really. Maybe if you have little kids and you're gonna turn it on for them and like leave the room so you don't have to watch it, fine. You could maybe do that. They might enjoy that. But
That's true.
yeah, not real good at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm scared to get into this section because I do feel a little bad for rating a kids movie. Gonna be low, but how many oil tycoons would you give this movie? 0 to 5.
Well, there is an oil tycoon in this movie who pretends to be environmentally friendly for part of the movie, and then he turns visibly evil by putting on a cowboy hat and a belt buckle.
Yeah.
And moving to a Texas style accent. I'm gonna give this like a 1.2 oil tycoons out of 5.
Nice.
I have to give it a little bit of credit for being a kids movie and me not being a kid, but not much. And
Sure.
It's not good as a non-kid.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it's good as a kid. But yeah, so 1.2.
Well, it's been a long time, Matt, but we're right on the money.
Woohoo!
Yeah. It was a 1.2 as well. Like, yeah, your scenario of turn the TV on for the kids and walk out because you got to make dinner or something like that is probably the perfect scenario for this movie.
Right.
They've got to be young enough that they don't care because they don't really understand it anyway, and you got to not be in the room.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you have it. So our rating from the Matt and Todd Go to the Movies podcast for Bigfoot Family is going to be 1.2 is the average since we both picked that. And we didn't like this movie. And we don't think you should watch it. But we are hoping that, as we've seen in the past, that rating this kids movie will boost our download numbers because it seems
that is true, man.
Seems to help us
tell you,
when we rate these kids movies.
I guess parents really got to tune in to us to be like, is this appropriate for my kid? And,
yeah.
You know, it is if you're not going to be in the room.
Right. Well,
great.
Before we wrap up today, I'll reveal our next movie to you, Todd.
Nice. I got my pen ready so I don't have to continuously message you. What movie are we watching again?
Yes. Well, hopefully you'll be able to spell this right.
Oh, boy.
The number one movie in the U.S. today on Netflix is called Sentinel. So you've got the word sentinel.
Yeah.
And then you add an L-E on the end to make it Sentinel.
Gotcha.
Because the protagonist is a woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me the what Netflix says about this. Give me the tagline here.
Here we go. Trained by the military, home from a combat zone, fighting to fit in, and gearing up to wage war on the man who hurt her sister.
is all right. I mean, I'm certainly intrigued.
Yeah.
But give me, is there a famous person in it?
I don't think
Or
there
this is gonna.
is.
Is this a foreign film or?
Let's see. It looks like it might be a foreign film.
Okay.
Olga Kirilenko is
Okay.
the main star. There is someone in it called Mikhail Nabokov, which I feel like that name rings a bell, but
Mikhail. I don't know.
it is a French movie, I guess.
All right.
Is it in French? I don't know. We'll find out.
I got to be honest. I'm kind of looking forward to
Yeah.
it. I'm a little sold on it right now.
Yeah, me
Hopefully it'll
too.
deliver.
Yeah, the picture that goes along with the little blurb that I read is a woman holding a knife to the face of a man who's trying to fend
Oh,
her off.
nice.
Yeah. Looks
Got to teach those men.
looks kind of intense. I'm down with it. Let's hope it's good. Let's hope it's better than Bigfoot Family.
Yeah. And let's hope it's better than the review of the Bigfoot Family, our podcast, which honestly is not our best, I don't think, but that's what the subject matter.
Well, it is what it is. We provide our gut reaction, and that's what you get. So
True.
sometimes
Someone's
it's
going to
long.
appreciate that this is shorter.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's short. So, well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. Thank you for listening to us, and we'll keep making these.
Da da da
Da da
da da da
da da da.